Many potential home buyers have been waiting for a while to make a move into the housing markets because of interest rates, and they've been waiting for interest rates to drop. I want to go over with you why this summer would be a great time to buy. Because what will happen is, first of all, we don't know if interest rates are going to drop. I've been predicting that, but no one really knows. They've been stubbornly high for quite some time relative to how low they were before. Secondly, no one thinks they're going to go back down to 2 and 3%. And lastly, if they stay the same, inflation and rent and rising house prices will wipe out any savings. Plus, if they do drop, you're going to face a new challenge as a buyer, and that is surging competition. And that's what happens. We have some inventory right now, though, which means there's houses to select from, and you can get a seller to give you a price reduction or use it to pay closing costs and get a great financing package. Let me give you a brief summary of why you want to consider to buy this summer. First, it's home appreciation. Look at the average sales price. In 1988, it was $150. Look where it's at today. It's bumping to almost. It's literally bumping over $500,000. This is what happens. This is why you buy a house. It slowly but surely goes and grows and grows over value. Let me give you another great reason. Because of what I just showed you, look at homeowner net worth. It's 40 times greater than the average renter. Average homeowner is worth almost $400,000. Average renter worth only $10,000. Let me give you another great reason to buy. This goes back to what I mentioned in the introduction, which is rent inflation. So if you look where average rent was, look how low average rent was. I know in your area it might be higher than this. This is average or medium asking rent. But look at $300 back in 1988, and you see it climbs right along with house prices. Look where it's at today. It's gone up 5-fold since 1988, and that's going to continue to happen. It's just going to continue to go up like that. That's the direction everything always goes. Let's look at the next reason. This is the 2025 for sale inventory forecast. Year over year, percent increase for existing homes. Realtor.com is predicting 11.7%, and Altos Research 15%. And what that means is more homes on the market. So there's a thing called days on market, and it's one of the metrics that are looked at. And also the number of months house supply that's on the market. And currently we have a 4-month supply of homes, which is the highest it's been in years and years. So that creates a more balanced market, almost like a buyer's market, where the sellers are much more willing to negotiate. And it creates a situation where new construction also has to compete against existing homes. And so everyone has to start to negotiate. That means opportunity for you as a buyer. And that last statistic bears out also in the new home market. If you see historical data, newly built homes as a percent usually hovers around 12 to 13%. Right now it's almost 30%. And that's because people have been sitting on their 3% mortgages and not wanting to sell. But eventually, if there's a life event you want to take advantage of, this is the time to make that move because the inventory and the flexibility. You can still get a great financing package when you go negotiate the right deal with the seller. So let me show you some more reasons. People were worried about a recession. One of the other worries. What is a recession? I don't want to buy it. There could be a possible recession. Even if we do go into recession, if you look 4 of the last 6 recessions, the prices went up. And we have to throw this one out because this was the housing crisis. That was a unique situation where there's no underwriting guidelines. So if you look, in general, in a recession, housing prices actually go up. And in a corollary to that, a recession also means falling mortgage rates. Now, we don't know if there's going to be a recession. There might not be a recession. But what we do know is that in a recession, mortgage rates tend to go down. So that just takes off the table almost like an excuse or a reason, well, this might happen, so I don't want to buy a house. Even if it does, it actually bodes well for you. Mortgage rates are projected to come down slightly. We'll see about this. I've been a big advocate or a big believer that we're going to eventually see drops in mortgage rates. We'll see. Fannie Mae just recently came out at 6.1. That's the most aggressive and this is by the year's end, basically. This is, let's see right here, it's year end. Right now, the average is hovering at 6.89. So, I don't think it would be unheard of to see something in the mid to low sixes by year end, but we'll have to see. But just keep in mind, as these trend down, when this one right here, when it goes where it's 5.99, where there's a 5, even if it's 5.9999 in front of it, then that's the trigger for dispersed demand. And that's what will eat up that inventory and put you in a more competitive situation as a buyer. These are the home price forecasts for the year. And right now, I think macroeconomic, it's like 1.8. In Texas, we're hovering between 3 and 4%. But everyone, so if you average these all out, we should show at least about a 2% rise. I was actually predicting 5, so I want to wait and see where we're at by the end of the year if I'm right about that. I was right the last couple of years, but we'll see. We'll have to double check that at the end of the year on whether or not we hit that 5 or if we're closer to 2. But even if it's 2, that slowing growth means more opportunity for you to purchase at a better price. So I just gave you an overview of all the great reasons to feel comfortable buying now. If you've got a secure job, then the next step is to build a mortgage plan. A mortgage plan is a pre-approval, but with actual planning involved with it as well, where debt ratios are looked at and a plan is developed to have an affordable payment, how much purchasing power it gets you, and then develop a negotiation strategy to optimize your financing so that perhaps the seller can give us 2 or 3 or 4% off that price that we can use to prepay interest and lower your payment permanently and put you into a great situation that you will never be able to get once rates drop and there's an increase in demand. Please feel comfortable reaching out to me. It's what I do. I help people build great mortgage plans. I will take great care of you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.